Hi, my name is Sheik. I'm an eternity strategist, and today we're going to be making a season 2 tier list. So because I'm a strategist, my opinion might differ to tank or DPS players, for example, so stick around to find out what I think. This is my predicted season 2 tier list, which I did last time, which I also made a YouTube video about. So a few standouts that I've got completely wrong is Human Torch and Iron Fist are at the bottom, which we're going to find pretty much reversed on the tier list that I'm about to make. But I think I was kind of right with Emma Frost. Maybe she wasn't the best character, maybe she isn't the best, but she's up there somewhere. Rocket up there somewhere. Yeah, I did a few things right, did a few things wrong. Anyways, let's reset, let's start again. And let's start from the beginning. So we're going to start with Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock did see a nerf going into season 2. He got a 10-second nerf to his soul bond. So he's not as strong as what he was in season 1 just by his raw power. However, dive meta is becoming a lot more apparent in season 2, which means that he has a lot of use because his soul bond, if you didn't know, shares health between your whole team, so it means that you're not going to die as easy to dive characters. And he also has triple resurrect with Mantis himself and Star-Lord, which also helps against dive. So even though he himself isn't very strong, the soul bond is very, very useful to play against dive. So right now I'm going to put him A tier simply for that fact, just because dive is so prevalent. Black Panther is hard because Black Panther, you have to be really good to get actual use out of him. But if we're doing this tier list based on what a good player, a good Black Panther player would be able to achieve, I'm probably going to go, I know some people think he's pretty bad, but I'm probably going to go for A tier, because good Black Panther players can rip through your healers. But you do have to be pretty good at him. So next we have Black Widow. She received some buffs. She got a little bit of a quality of life change, so she's able to fire faster after her stun and her ultimate, if I believe so. So a good Black Widow player will be okay. You have to like really master her to have any kind of good value out of her, so I'm afraid I'm still going to keep her in C tier, but she is a little bit better than before. Some really good players can make her work, but that's only a small minority of players. She's still pretty weak, especially against dive meta. She does have her stun, but she's going to have, like, you know, 2 flankers on her, and there's not really a lot that she can do about that. There's so many better picks. Next we have Hulk. Hulk got a few buffs going into season 2. Don't remember exactly what they were. I think it was like health and movement speed, something like that. In my games, he's kind of been running rampant a little bit. He's being picked quite often. I think he's doing a lot better than he was in season 1, so we're going to put him in A tier, probably behind Warlock and in front of Black Panther. Captain America is very good this season. He seems to have finally found his spot where he's a really good diver and he can just be such a good nuisance. I'm a bit hesitant to put him in S tier because I don't think he's like OP, must pick, must ban. But I think I'm going to put him like near enough the top of A tier because, if it'll let me move him, there we go. Because a good Captain America can just harass your healers and you have to turn around to help them. He has a lot of value if you're a good player. So I think I'm going to keep him there for now. Next we have Cloak and Dagger. So I've seen some varying opinions on Cloak and Dagger. A lot of people think they're dog shit. I'm not entirely sure where that opinion has come from because they have good healing, they have self-survivability with all the self-healing that they have. They have their immune, their ultimate charge is very quick and it heals for the same amount as Luna. Yes, it doesn't spread over the floor as much as Luna does at the very start, so you have to, like, you know, dash a couple times to get good coverage, but I still think they're a decent pick. I'm not gonna glaze them and say they're as strong as other strategists, but the auto-aim feature really helps to heal, you know, your Spider-Mans, your Venoms, your Storm in the sky, Iron Man, Human Torch, etc. They're really good for healing those characters because you're not gonna miss, ever. So I'm going to put them in B tier. Sorry, I keep coughing. Because I do recognize that they are a little bit weaker than the other strategists, but they're still good. They're still a strong pick and a good player. Can get a lot of use out of them as long as you're not ulting straight into a Magneto, right? So that's my reasoning for that. Doctor Strange. Okay, I've seen a lot of thoughts about Doctor Strange. Some people think he's dog shit, which I completely disagree with. Yeah, he might be doing less damage than what he was before because he did get a bit of a damage nerf. But at the end of the day, he's still a shield tank with pretty good survivability, and his ultimate is a game-winning ultimate if you use it properly. You can wipe an entire team. He has a portal that can get you back to the spawn. So I'm hesitating to put him in the top of B tier or just the bottom of A tier. I think the bottom of A tier, I think, is what I'm going to put him in, because compared to his original state, he's not as good by far. But when you compare him to the rest of the characters in the game, he still has a lot of impact on games. So yeah, I'm going to keep him there for now. We might move him a little bit. Groot is going in S tier. Groot's kind of found his way in the game now with his walls that people don't ever want to shoot, which block healing and they block line of sight. It means you can get easy picks on tanks. He does a lot of damage. His ultimate is a game-winning ultimate if you use it properly. It can combo really well. He's very strong. A lot of people are using him as a pick or ban right now, so he's going to go in S tier. Hawkeye. So I might be a bit divisive on this one. Hawkeye for me is S tier because Hawkeye still does the same thing as what he's always done. If you're good at aiming with him, which I know some people are scary good, a headshot is literally a kill, right? So now that he gets his ultimate faster and he fires faster in his ultimate, I think he's a force to be reckoned with for sure. I've seen many Hawkeyes just kind of turn around and one-shot a Magic or, you know, a Black Panther or someone like that as they're trying to dive him. So I think Hawkeye is very, very good if you play him properly. I'm going to put him at the bottom of S tier, but he's going to have to go there for now. A lot of people don't want to say he's good. Not entirely sure why. He is good. Anyways, Hela. Hela's going to go S tier. Hela, for me, has never been bad. I know some people moved her down tier lists after she got nerfed and blah, blah, blah. But for me, she's always been literally the best DPS. And yeah, that's all I can really say about her. Great ultimate, great hit scan, great damage. Amazing. Iron Fist. So... me, myself, I haven't played Iron Fist, but I see how strong he is, and I see how popular he is, and I see how he's kind of running games. I'm a little bit hesitant to put him in S tier, but I would do based on how people are performing on him and how often people want him banned. I'm not entirely sure about this one. I will hold my hands up. I'm just going to put him in the top of A tier, because I don't know if Iron Fist is S tier. I don't think if he has the kit. I don't think he has the kit to be that OP. But anyways. Iron Man. So Iron Man got a bit of a buff with increased health going into Season 2 when he uses his laser, I believe. Which is a pretty good buff for him. Iron Man I don't see that often. I'm probably just going to put him in A because he does a lot of damage and a good Iron Man is very scary. But I don't see him that often. So meta-wise, I don't think he's like doing too strong. But obviously a good player can make him viable. Now we have Jeff. So a lot of people put Jeff in like C and D tier, but I'm actually going to go for the complete opposite, and I'm going to put him at the top of A tier because in high elo games, a good Jeff player, a master at Jeff, can cause havoc in the backline. You have to turn around for him, you have to heal your other healer. He just creates such a distraction, and a lot of people don't know how to deal with him. And since Cloak and Dagger isn't being played a lot now, they can't immune the Jeff ultimate for multiple of your allies. So I think he's really good, and a good Jeff player is a nuisance. He needs to be nerfed, in my opinion, because he's just OP. He can heal himself so much and does so much damage. Anyways, moving on from Jeff. Next we have Loki. So Loki received a bit of a nerf going into Season 2. He got a 5-second increased cooldown on his lamps, his immunity lamps, if I remember rightly. I'm gonna shove him in S tier there for now. Loki's always been good because he gets other healers' ultimates quicker than they do, if that makes sense. So Luna's ult charge has always been the highest ult charge. Loki can get his ult faster than Luna and copy Luna and use it. And we all know Luna's ultimate is the best strategist ult in the game. So that's the one and the only reason why Loki is good, because he's able to spam the overpowered ultimates quicker than the actual characters that have the overpowered ultimates. And obviously his immunity is a nice touch as well. Next we have Luna. So a lot of people think Luna is the cream of the crop, OP. She's, you know, what breaks the game. I'm actually not of that opinion as a strategist. Yeah, I think her ultimate's strong. I think it's 12 seconds of a lot of healing. But coordinated play can kill through Luna Snow's ultimate, even if people don't like to agree upon that. If you all focus the same target, they will die in a Luna ultimate. It's not as OP as what people think, but people love to complain about it. She takes a while to charge that ultimate, and it takes really good game knowledge on Luna to even survive in the game, period, because now we're in dive meta. Luna is one of the easiest strategists to kill, I would say. Like, yeah, she has her freeze and she has her self-heal, but, you know, she doesn't have an immune like Cloak and Dagger. She doesn't have consistent overtime healing on herself like Mantis with the sleep. She doesn't have revives like Adam Warlock. She doesn't have Soul Bond like Adam Warlock. She doesn't have Loki lamps. And she can't go invisible and she can't push people away. So it's really dependent on hitting your freeze, which is hard if you've got a Magic and a Black Panther running around, just dashing everywhere, you know. So you have to be really, really high skill cap to even survive on Luna, especially in top 500 lobbies, Eternity lobbies. She is harder than what people think. So I'm going to put her lower than Loki. Reason being is what I just explained about Loki. He gets her ult faster, and that is my premise. You can argue with me in the comments if you want. But I still think she's really strong, but she's not as OP as what people think, in my opinion. But she's always going to be a staple pick just because of her ultimate. Magic. So for me, Magic is probably a strong A tier. I don't think she's overpowered. I don't think she's been overpowered. But she is just strong. She's strong if you know how to play her. She has quite a high skill cap, so you can easily tell a good Magic from a bad Magic. There are a lot of games where she can't do anything because of the DPS that people are playing. She's not just the character that you lock in and instantly win. So I just say she's strong. She's a strong pick. She's better than Black Panther in my eyes. So that's why I'm gonna put that there. Magneto. Magneto for me is the strongest tank. So, well, I say strongest tank. I just put him below Groot. There we go. He's the strongest tank for me. He has a shield, and his ultimate can shut down healer ultimates, which game set point, that is the reason why he is the strongest tank. Cloak and Dagger ults, kill it. Lunar Snow ults, if you use it properly, you can kill it. Invisible Woman, a bit harder because she could go invisible, but you can still kill her if you do it properly. So that is the sole reason why he is number one. He does a lot of damage, but it is killing the healer ultimates, which is the reason why he's so OP. Mantis, she's a little whoa, she's a little bit better now that you can stack your damage buffs and your damage buffs and your healing over time. You can now stack them for 16 seconds instead of 8 seconds on your allies, so that gives a bit more quality of life for her. You don't have to be consistently popping flowers and sitting there waiting to pop another one to get max value. You can stack them a little bit, which makes her a bit better. She did lose a bit of health going into Season 2, but I'm not feeling the health loss that much because she has healing over time anyway. Yeah, she's strong against dive. If you're good with your sleeps, you can shut down dive characters, but I don't think she's OP. I'd probably just say she's a strong A tier. She doesn't do as much healing, so if you pick her, you are gonna not have as much healing. Adam Warlock is probably better to run against dive than Mantis, so that's why Mantis is going there. Moon Knight. So the Moon Knight Groot combo is back. You can kill with that. It briefly wasn't here because the Moon Knight DPS on the ultimate was not as strong as to kill through healer ultimates, but now you can do it again. So for that reason, I'm going to put him probably there in A tier. He has a bit more bonus health and survivability when he throws his right click, I think it is. He can get like 100 bonus health. So he is very strong. I know people like to say he's not strong. I personally don't see why he's not strong. He does a lot of poke. A lot of people don't shoot the Ankhs, but guess what? Even if you don't shoot the Ankhs, he can still ricochet his shots off of people anyway. So I think he's always been strong, and I don't really agree with people that would ever move him down to C or even B. apart from that brief stint where his ultimate was pretty bad and it wouldn't kill anyone. But now the Groot Moon Knight combo is back, so it's an easy way to win games. Namor. So Namor is a hard one because his Gamma Squid is not as strong as the Ice Squid from last season. However, Namor is Namor. He is the best counter against dives. So he's the best counter against Spider-Man, you know, Magic, Black Panther. The turrets that he puts down are really bothersome for people that want to dive, right? They have to destroy the turrets, which is kind of hard for a lot of characters. So based on that, I am going to put him above Hela. I know you might think, oh, Hela's better than him, but Hela is not as good as killing dive characters unless you're a demon on Hela and you can hit every single shot. She's going to struggle to hit people that are dashing through you and dashing all over the place, whereas Namor's turrets will insta lock on them. But yeah, his Gamma Squid isn't as strong as the Ice Squid, which sucks, but just because of this meta, he is retaining his place there, and also because Groot is so popular, Groot-Namor combo, really good. Penny. So interestingly enough, I thought Penny was going to be very, very good going into this season, because she can now headshot, she's got more survivability, yada, yada, yada. But I haven't seen anyone play her, and I'm really confused. There's like one person that plays her called Cringe Alarm, I believe, and he's pretty good, but I don't see anyone else play her. I think Penny's good, but I can't put her in A tier because I don't see enough of her. So I'm just going to put her in B tier because I think she's good to counter dive. But as the second her nest is gone, she's kind of just like done for, right? So I'm going to put her in B tier just because a good player can get a lot of use out of her. And I want her to be good. I want people to start playing her. I don't think her full potential has kind of been realized by a lot of players yet. So yeah, we'll see what the future holds for her. Psylocke. So Psylocke's a hard one. In my mind, Psylocke is S tier because if she has the Emma Frost team up, that's a free one-shot every 20 seconds, I think it is. The damage that she does with that decoy, whatever you call it, clone, is absolutely ridiculous. She can one-shot you with literally like 2 shots and a dash. Like, you're dead before you can even breathe, especially as a strategist. I've experienced that quite often. So I kind of want to put Psylocke there. Her ultimate can force healer ultimates if used properly, but if people just stack up in the Psylocke ultimate, it makes it a lot harder for Psylocke to get a kill. However, if you are just popping your ultimate on 1 healer or 2 healers or even 3 healers, you're probably going to get a kill or force a healer ultimate. So she is very strong. And I do want to keep her in S tier just for that. People might argue with me based on that, but I think the Emma Frost team up with her, as long as you're running that, she can be S tier for sure. Is she better than Hawkeye is the question. I'm going to put her above Hawkeye. Why not? Punisher. Punisher's always strong. I haven't seen a lot of Punisher recently, but, you know, it's always a strong pick. I'm probably just going to shove him somewhere like middle of A tier. He's better than Black Panther. Is he better than Strange? Oh god, I might need to move Strange up, you know. I'm going to move Strange up. I can't keep Strange down there. Strange is really good. Anyways, oh, Moon Knight. Should Moon Knight be there? Oh, now I'm second guessing everything. Moon Knight, will move him down a bit. There we go. Rocket Raccoon, S tier. He has a lot of healing going into Season 2. His healer ultimate now heals. Ain't that crazy? You get his ult very, very fast. He is just very good, hands down. So I'm going to put him... He's better than all of these characters. Does he go above Luna is the question. I'm not entirely sure if he goes above Luna. I'm going to put him above Luna. So I don't think he's better than Loki. For me, Loki has always been, you know, the best healer. Even though I don't play him personally, I know his strengths. I think he's always going to be the best just because he can copy healer ultimates quicker than they can get them. Like, that's OP. So Rocket better than Luna because this is dive meta. He can survive a lot more than Luna. He has a revive. And also if you're hitting the direct hits, he probably out heals Luna, like legit. If you're making sure you get those direct hits on your orbs. So yeah, we'll keep him there. Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch got a mixture of buffs and nerfs. She got a nerf to her survivability, and she got a bit more damage, I think, and she got the team-up ability. I don't think Scarlet Witch is strong. People might disagree with me on this. I don't think she's strong. I don't ever think she's gonna be strong just because her ultimate is shit. Unless they change her ultimate, I always think she's gonna be B tier. I never think she's gonna be above that. She's probably better than Penny. But if you're playing against good players, a Scarlet Witch getting her ultimate off is going to happen, what, maybe 10% of the time, 20% if you're lucky. Yeah, you can Magneto bubble her, so you can activate it through a strange portal so they don't hear the voice line. There are ways for you to get around the Scarlet Witch ulti and get it off. However, walk away. Enemies can move, enemies can walk away, enemies can break line of sight, and it's so easy to do. It's so easy to do. Especially as a strategist, I'm always in the back line, you know, I'm always playing Sue, people like that. I can always knock her away. There's so many things to interrupt her ultimate. As a strategist, I'm not afraid of Scarlet Witch and never will be. So, she's going to stay in beta. Spider-Man. So here is where people might shout at me. Spider-Man for me, I do want to say is S tier, like I really do. I want to say he's better than Hawkeye, and I want to say he's better than Psylocke. People are going to disagree with me on that. I'm a strategist player. Spider-Man destroys backlines more times than what you would imagine. I know there are very popular content creators out there that want to say characters like Spider-Man are bad, and they always will be bad. Because, you know, healer ultimates, for example, I completely disagree with that. Completely. Spider-Man can one-shot any healer, like any healer at all, if he's playing properly. His ultimate will always force a healer ultimate, but he can probably force a healer ultimate by himself just with his normal combo, because you will die. Especially if you're playing a character with 250 health like Mantis or Cloak and Dagger, they will die a lot quicker. When there's a Spider-Man on the enemy team, you need to switch your comp up, you need to, like, he forces comp changes, you have to focus him, you have to always be thinking about him, and as a strategist player, I would rather have him banned, because I don't want to be just chilling in a fight and just get one shot. Completely one shot. So he's going to go there for me. I know people are going to complain about that, but hey, put your arguments in the comments about why you think Spider-Man should or should not be there. But I fully agree with that. The Venom team up with the immunity frames that he gets is a lot more OP than the original. Did he get damage reduction before? I think he did, right? The Venom team up makes him even better. You can't punish him as much. He's S tier. He's S tier. Squirrel Girl. So Squirrel Girl is really OP on certain maps. However, she's quite unreliable with her shots. You have to be a really good Squirrel Girl player to actually get the same use out of her as other characters. And also you've got to stand in her poke a lot of the time. Some maps you kind of have to stand in her poke. You don't have a choice. But I am going to put her at the bottom of B tier just because she's not the strongest, just because of how her shots work. You know, the second they have like a flying character or something, it makes it a lot harder for Squirrel Girl to do something. Next we have Star-Lord. So Star-Lord for me is very strong, always has been very strong just because of his ultimate. I kind of want to shove Star-Lord maybe above Magic, below Iron Fist, below Jeff. Jeff's there as a bit of a sneak. But yeah, Star-Lord's ultimate will always force a healer ultimate. He does a lot of damage, he's high skill cap. The better that people get at him, the higher up the tier list he goes, right? I think he's great. Storm. I don't think Storm is very good right now. Reason being is because it's a character that has suddenly risen in the meta, which we will talk about later. But Spider-Man destroys Storm. Namor does really good against Storm. Hela does really good against Storm. There's a lot of characters that do really good against Storm if she's flying in the air, right? Her hitbox is pretty huge. Her ult charge is very, very good if you know how to play her properly, but there's one counter to Storm, right? You walk away from her ultimate, you spread out, or you drop a healer ultimate. And now that Rocket has his healing on his ultimate, there's even more counter against it, and I don't think Storm's very good. I never really did think she was very good, apart from when she had a brief stint where she was like super OP and people were finding out that she was actually good. But just because of the nature of her ultimate, the better players get, the worse she gets, because you just spread out, right? It's not that hard to deal with, but obviously you can combo. So I'm probably going to put her in B. I'm not going to put Storm in A. I don't think she deserves A. She might get buffed again and she might rise up the tier list, but for right now, there are other flyers in the game that do her job better. And I don't think she has a team up right now, right? I don't think she has a team up. So yeah. Thor. I think Thor is very good. He got buffs going into season 2. I would probably put him like there, maybe. I do think Captain America is better than Thor just because of his ultimate. His ultimate stalls time. It's pretty good with his shields. Thor, his ultimate isn't that good. You can just move out of it. He does do a lot of damage. And he's a bit of a nuisance, but I do think Doctor Strange is better than Thor, in my opinion. The the team up with Loki, Thor, and Hela is pretty OP. I don't see it being used that often. So if you get a good trio going, that is a really good team up. But for now, I'm going to put him in the middle of A tier. I do think he's better than he was before, though. I do think he's pretty strong now, especially with Dive. If you pair him with, like, you know, Captain America and a Magic or a Black Panther or something, the backline is going to struggle to stay alive. Venom. So I think Venom is very strong, and I always have thought Venom is very strong. But I know other people don't necessarily agree with that. However, I am going to put Venom ahead of Captain America because I think he's very good. I think his team up is very good. He's going to force the healers to panic pretty much every time, right? And if he drops his ultimate on them, it's going to make them one shot. So you're going to have to heal all that, otherwise you're dead, right? And his ultimate is very low charge as well. I think they reduced the ultimate charge going into season 2 or 1.5, something like that. But I think he's good. I think he's always been good, and I never understood why people thought he was bad in the first place, because the sheer amount of HP that he has makes him such a threat to healers. Like, they can't deal with them by themselves. And he also gives a lot of ult charge. He gives a lot of ult charge for healers because he has so much health, you know? So if you have a Venom on your team who swings back to your team, if I'm playing Luna, I'm slurping that shit up, you know? Like, I'm taking that ult charge and I'm getting my ult so fast. But I think he's great. I think he's amazing. And he always has been good. Anyways, Winter Soldier. He got nerfs going into Season 2, so he's nowhere near as strong as what he was before because his hook cooldown is a lot lower, higher even, which means he can't deal with dive as much. And he also doesn't have the raccoon team up, which was a pretty OP thing. I am probably going to put him, like, here, just below Star-Lord, because a good Bucky can be really good, right? But his nerfs are seeable. His ultimate isn't as strong as what it was, and he can't kill dive as much. So in a dive meta, he's going to stay there. But he is pretty strong. Wolverine. So Wolverine in my eyes is OP as fuck. I know people don't like to say he's OP, but I'm actually going to put him in S tier. Triple tank is becoming a thing. Wolverine does more damage against tanks, and his ultimate will one-shot squishies, right? The amount of times our team has been wiped by a Wolverine ultimate is crazy. So I'm going to put him potentially there. He's always pick or ban, like pretty much every game is pick or ban, because people know how OP he is. I'm not sure where people put him in their tier list, but I think he's very good, so he's staying there. Mr. Fantastic, he's very strong going into Season 2. He's had a lot of buffs, and he also has a really good team up with Invisible Woman and The Thing and Human Torch, who are also really good characters going into Season 2. And in high elo, he seems to be really, like, kind of finding his way and doing things now. His ultimate, you are basically going to force a healer ultimate pretty much every time, as long as you're using it properly. So I'm actually going to put him in the middle of A tier as well. I think he's probably better than Magic. He's not better than Doctor Strange in my eyes. But yeah, I think as people get better and better at Mr. Fantastic, he'll be even better. But in a dive meta where we're looking for more tanks and just to get on top of the enemy healers, I think Mr. Fantastic is great. He has a lot of survivability and he's also getting a lot more damage now. So I'm going to keep him there for the time being. Invisible Woman, straight to S tier. Invisible Woman in my mind is great. She does a bit of everything. She can knock people off the map. She can charge her ultimate really, really fast. She has a shield to block enemy ultimates and other things. She's just great. She can go invisible to survive. So I think she's better than Rocket. People are going to hate me for that. I think she's better than Rocket. And she has a team up for the other characters who are really good in Season 2. I'm not going to say she's better than Loki because good Loki players are like the most annoying people on the earth. I hate to admit that. If this was me ignoring Loki players, I would be putting her up here somewhere because I think Invisible Woman is the cream of the crop. I think she's amazing. So I'm going to keep her there for now. She's my number one pick. The amount of times I get a quick ult off, drop it in ranks, and just carry on Invisible Woman is insane. And being able to knock people off the map is such a good mechanic that people probably don't weigh in as much. Anyways, next we have the Thing. Invisible Woman team up is amazing, is great. The Thing is going to go top of A tier. He does a lot of damage. His ultimate is really good. It's hard to get out of. You're probably going to force a healer ultimate with it. He's unstoppable. I think it's probably better than Venom and Captain America, so I think we keep him there. His grounded effect stops dive. It makes it annoying for people to play around with their dashes and stuff like that, so he's going to go there for now. Human Torch is S tier. Human Torch, so people have realized, hang on, Human Torch actually does a shit ton of damage, and he has a lot of survivability with the Invisible Woman team up. He's kind of being a bit of a maniac right now in high elo, at least. People are banning him, people are getting, 60,000 damage in a game on him, like it's insane. So I'm going to say he's better than Namor. Honestly, I'm going to put him there in front of Rocket. I think he's the best DPS by far at the moment. He dominates games. His area control is crazy. Tanks can't do anything against him. Tanks are just useless. Healers are useless. But you have got characters like Spider-Man. Hela can try and shoot him in the sky. However, he does do a lot more damage than Hela. So it just depends on the skill of the Human Torch. But I think going into Season 2, as people get even better at him, because people haven't really put a lot of time into him at all, I think as people get better, he's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger, which is the reason why I'm keeping him there. The best DPS right now, I would say. Emma Frost. So Emma Frost is good. In my mind, she's not OP, but she is strong. Her team up is very strong. She does a lot of damage. Her ultimate is obviously really strong because it silences enemy ultimates. So I'm going to put her in S tier. I don't think she's the top of S tier, for sure. Groot and Namor definitely are the standout tanks right now for me. I would say she's not as good as Luna. I'd probably put her there just because healers do decide the fate of the game quite a lot. If you have a bad healer, it's kind of over, right? But she is strong, so I'm going to keep her in the middle of S tier. So Ultron, don't know, he's going to D tier. So this is my tier list. I'm looking quickly to see if I want to change anything. Punish is probably a little bit low, I can't lie. Maybe I'll move him up there. Adam might be a bit low. Maybe move Fantastic down a bit. Because this is a dive meta, and Adam is very useful. Okay. I think for now, we keep it like that. Oh, it looks wrong. It looks wrong. Do we move Hawkeye down? I think Hawkeye's so good though, bro. I think for now I keep it like this. This is my first impression. If I ponder over it too much, I keep it, I'll keep changing things all the time. I was just looking at some of these characters and I was thinking, oh, are they as bad as what I'm thinking? Hulk, I think, should be a bit further up, but I don't know who to replace him with. So I think it's very close of all these characters, which is why they're all A tier and they're not in B tier, for example. There's a lot of characters higher up the tier list because I think overall everyone's pretty strong in their own way. There's only a few characters that aren't as strong. Um, so yeah, there is a differentiation between, you know, like Venom and Mantis, for example, like as you go down the line. But I think overall this is a good representation of what I think of this season. And yeah, let me know what you think of my tier list. I'm sure someone's going to tell me how I have no skill. I'm a bronze player and I'm shit. So yeah, let me know. And also tell me what you would put in S tier, what you would say is your best character, or what you would say is your worst character. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.